last week I did a video titled NIKKE's massive new open world gacha, where I essentially made all of you aware of a brand new gacha game set in the NIKKE universe. We know, or at the very least knew, very little about the game. It was confirmed to be an open world game, have an anime aesthetic, feature action combat to an extent. We don't know if it's gonna be like sword and shield action, magic action, or like third person shooter action, but it was nevertheless an open world gacha game from the people that do NIKKE, with everything that NIKKE does right. They had recently begun hiring. We covered this. If you're interested in that, I urge you to go ahead and take a look at the video. But today, we have more information. This is information that is very important. This will ultimately affect whether or not you are excited for the game. And that's because it's not going to be a Genshin clone. This is not going to be an anime fantasy game that's full of vibrant anime visuals. This is going to target a completely different demographic and could very well spell the end for a few other gacha games that are upcoming, that are open world, that are also urban fantasy sci-fi themed, like Neverness to Everness, like Project Mugen. Because let's be honest, Neverness to Everness is being developed by the Tower of Fantasy devs. Project Mugen is being developed by NetEase. This new NIKKE gacha game, which is currently titled Project Witches, is being developed by the NIKKE team. The people, or at the very least, part of the NIKKE team. These are the people that delivered us NIKKE. These are the people that delivered us Stellar Blade. These people know what they are doing. They know how to make a successful game. As much as I have hope for Project Mugen, as much as I have hope for Neverness to Everness, they pale in comparison to the potential that this game, Project Witches, has. Project Witches is not only confirmed to be developed by Shift Up, who are a Korean studio, not a Chinese studio, but it is also releasing completely cross-platform. It is being touted as a next generation project. This is not your average run-of-the-mill cross-platform gacha. This is not your average run-of-the-mill mobile gacha. On the contrary, this is confirmed to be a AAA urban science fiction action RPG. This is going to be completely cross-platform between PC and mobile. It is being built on Unreal Engine. There will be monsters and creatures present. Project Witches is currently in the early stages of development. That's great to know. That means we're already on the way to having a functional game, with plans to launch globally across console, PC, and mobile. Yeah, this game is launching on PC. This game is launching on console. This game is launching onto mobile. They are hitting every single major gaming platform. What Hoyo does better than every other studio around the world is they have simultaneous releases on every major platform. One thing that Kudo did incorrectly with the release of Wuthering Waves was they did not release onto PlayStation as well. They released onto PC and mobile, which hindered the game's success. This game, Project Witches, is launching globally onto every platform. They are not going to be hindered in any capacity. Once again, this studio knows what they're doing with crossplay functionality in 2027 or later. Okay, so this is actually a bit sad to hear. It is confirmed that the game is releasing in 2027. So it is 2024 right now. I don't think Neverness to Everness or Project Mugen are releasing in 2024. They might release in 2025, more likely the end 2025, maybe 2026. So I guess if they manage to push their games out in time, then this new Project Witches will probably, like, I don't want to say kill them, but it has a very high chance to, especially because from what I'm gathering here, Shift Up, they're not rushing their game. They have a projected release date of, at the bare minimum, 2027. That is 3 years away. The game is already in active development. It has already been in active development for who knows, months, a year, more. They are taking their time to perfect this. And that is because, as this article goes on to further confirm, this game, Project Witches, is described as Shift Up's next generation mega subculture intellectual property that will surpass Goddess of Victory NIKKE, that is going to be difficult. NIKKE makes an average of like $15 to $30 million every single month. NIKKE is continuously one of the most popular, successful, highest grossing, most played gacha games worldwide, with examples of subculture intellectual property being games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Fate Grand Order, all of which NIKKE's new game, Project Witches, is going to attempt to tackle and dethrone. Will it be capable of doing that? Maybe. NIKKE and the NIKKE style of game hasn't really been tackled by Hoyo. They might in the future, but right now NIKKE absolutely dominates its subcategory of the genre because there's nothing that can compete with it. Before I discuss Project Witches in any further detail, allow me to take a moment to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Stellar Blade did incredibly, and this game has the potential to be a tremendous monolithic hit as well. Shift Up hopes to ramp up development in 2024 by attracting new hires. I reported on this again just a few days ago last week, where I went on to state that they were recruiting for several different positions. They are seeking a technical artist, they are seeking monster concept artists, they are seeking character concept artists and animators, along with designers in the form of scenario writers to work on the game. Evidently they have a lot of spots open and they're trying, I guess, not to overwork their staff here. Much like Hoyo, I'm assuming they have different divisions separated between each game. They further go on to claim that they believe that their ability to develop new intellectual properties that can be successful without relying on existing intellectual properties will enable them to grow sustainably compared to other game companies that are locked into existing intellectual properties like Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Battlefield 2, 3, 4, 5. So this ties into NIKKE. I don't know, I highly doubt it's going to share necessarily the same world. It might be set on a different world, it might be a prequel, it might be a sequel, it might be set in a different galaxy, a parallel universe, who knows. We have a confirmed collab between Stellar Blade and NIKKE, which is great. They don't share the same world as far as I'm aware, so I wouldn't assume Project Witches will either. However, it will be great to have 3 games that look as good as these games do, all collaborating with each other periodically, boosting each other. That's what Hoyo does, and that's how they've remained as successful as they are. It's great to see that they're branching off here and not just trying to have alternate versions of NIKKE running concurrently. It is also worth noting that they did state that they are interested in making a Stellar Blade sequel. That could be really cool. I thought Stellar Blade was beautiful, well voice acted, great story, great combat. I know there are some people that dislike the censorship or supposed censorship in the game. That didn't bother me. Either way, what we have confirmed here today is Project Witches is the code name for NIKKE's new open world urban-themed sci-fi action gacha game. What we have here is a confirmed global release already. They are not planning this as an Asian release, a Korean release first, or a Chinese release first, and then a global release after, like Girls Frontline 2. This is coming global simultaneously. This is releasing in 2027. This is hitting every major gaming platform. This is going to be big. This is going to be one of the biggest gacha games of the decade. It could be bigger than Zenless, Wuthering Waves, Azure Parmelia, Neverness to Everness, Project Mugen, Unending Dawn, every other gacha game out there, and I am here for it. Now, if none of this is of any interest to you, absolutely no problem. I got you covered 2 different videos on the screen right now that might be more up your alley.